We have a lawyer this morning joining us, and it is Amaliba Esquire joining us this morning, and he will help us talk about it, the legal implications about it. Can GES sack these young ones because of what they did, or they can actually take the case to court and get back into their classroom? Good morning, Amaliba.
Good morning to your viewers.
How are you today?
Very well.
Great. We know we have to wake you up this morning so we can have this conversation. Have you seen the video of these young ones insulting the president?
Yes, I've seen it. I've seen the video.
I'll first ask you your take on the video.
Okay, so I'm happy we are separating the issues. So first, let's look at the video. The video is in bad taste. It doesn't speak well of the students who did that. But you need to also understand that they are in their teens, they are teenagers. At that age, if care is not taken and you are not molded well, you are likely to go wayward. It is that stage that these students, and that age, these students would need constant parental care and focus. Now, if you condemn the students, then you need to condemn the stakeholders in the educational system. It only shows the malaise that our education system has fallen into. And so stakeholders here will mean the parents, the teachers, and the educational authorities, the GES itself. And so much as the video was in bad taste, I also want to extend the discussions and say that there's growing indiscipline in our secondary schools. And if we all agree that there's growing indiscipline, it means that stakeholders, including GES, has failed all of us. And so that is my submission.
Right. So now these are the punitive measures that GES has taken and that the children have been sucked. They are begging, and also child rights has come out to say that GES cannot do this. Do you think it's right for what GES has done?
Now, we'll move from the video and talk about the punishment. In the first place, it is not a crime to insult the president. And I'm not the one who said this. My senior aide Ankuma said this at the time when somebody was arrested for insulting the late Professor Mills. So that has become a principle in this country, and the law backs it. So once it's not an insult, once it's not a crime to insult the president, the GES, in trying to stamp out indiscipline by using these 8 students, should have been mindful of that. If you look at the punishment, that punishment is meant to destroy. It is not meant to correct. It is not reformative. It's like saying, let's throw them out to the wolves, and the wolves will chew them. And I think that a good education system is not supposed to do that. A good education system is supposed to correct, punish, and correct. This punishment is punitive. It doesn't talk about the corrective aspect. And I think that that is where the education authorities have erred. And I have linked it already with the failure of the stakeholders to ensure that our educational system improves upon the lives of the learners. If a learner goes wrong, what we expect the education system to do is to punish, but in that punishment, you have opportunity to correct. If you dismiss them as we have now, clearly, no other public school can because the way it has been drafted, the way the punishment have been couched, it appears they have no opportunity to go back to school in any public school in this country again. That for me also flies in the face of the Constitution, because the Constitution talks about equal access to educational facilities. And so the punishment for me is like using a sledgehammer to kill an ant.
So let's talk about the legal aspects of this. Now they've been sacked. What can they do to go back to the classrooms legally?
I'm sure this is a good case for the human rights courts. And I have no doubt in my mind that any judge sitting in that human rights courts would ensure that the right things are done when this matter gets to court. The students, if their parents are capable, could go for a lawyer who would bring this matter up in the human rights court for this punishment, which is so, if I should say, excessive. It's withdrawn, and then a much better punishment is meted out. I also think that the president, who is at the center of this whole attacks, because the video was attacking our president, should temper justice with mercy. Talk to the educational authorities that, look, I am the one at the center of this affair. I think that these students have gone overboard. They are my grandchildren. It is possible to correct them. This, I think, if the president does, and there's precedent, I think he's done that before for some other students who similarly did the same act. I think the president should step in here before this matter gets to court. And if he does that, this for me will show that he's a caring president.
Right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. We are super grateful.